right now we're just going to take a moment to pause and do something that hopefully many of you kind of do innately when you're planning, but it's a good refresher. I actually find when I do this every year for new teacher orientation, I'm reminded about what a mediocre teacher I was sometimes with planning, because I definitely didn't do this every time, even though I should have. And B, just how much goes into everything, particularly with the shift to Common Core standards that are so layered in one standard. There's just so much to unpack. So this, I think, will be a pretty quick activity, but we just want to remind you of kind of the steps to take as you're going through this. So in your pockets, you have kind of a flow chart, I believe, might be the next page-ish. Great. So our example is from reading literature for grade 8. Can someone read the standard for me? Even though I'm in my glasses now, I prefer everyone else's voice over mine. Thanks, Sam.
Analyze how a modern work of fiction draws on themes, patterns of events, or character types from myths, traditional stories, or religious works such as the Bible, including describing how the material is rendered.
Piece of cake. And then, but realistically, and I don't say this to cause, panic, but that's huge in and of itself. And then also when you meet your students, and some are still potentially reading below grade level, you really have to think strategically, how am I going to unpack the standard so that all students can access it, whether they're ELL, special ed, a new student coming from another school and they're a little bit behind, or just your typical kid who struggles with reading, particularly religious works such as the Bible. It's not something necessarily that they're picking up every night. So making sure that we know exactly what to do to get to those standards. So I'm actually going to give you just a moment to read through what we've kind of already labeled out in that flow chart so that I'm not reading you everything that's in front of you. Look up when you're done so I know we're ready. Awesome. That's actually one of my favorite teaching techniques, because then you can give the creepy eyes to kids where you're like, I actually just saw you on your phone. I got really good at the teacher stare because my mom is terrifying and did that really well to me as a child. Okay, so now what I'd love for you to do is just turn and talk to people near you. What did you notice about the progression of unpacking this standard?